Let's talk about technology in this podcast. My point is the following. We always try to find the reason of problems we have in many fields. We forget, of course, that many of them can be solved by technology. So, in our research of the guilty, we always try to convince ourselves that the problem is, in fact, technology itself. So let's start from the beginning. Technology is not just a tool, it is in fact a real mentation because we have techniques, we have also art, and we can say about them that they are tools. But technology is at another level. In fact, more close to human mind than human hands. The idea is the following. Technology is a way of thinking the world, is not just a way to support it. It's a way to create the next reality. It's a way to change the shape of universe. So in fact, technology is like the human part of the universe because with it we are able to change many things, and even if the most of them are really unthinkable at the first glance. So, technology is just a new step or it's a vision. I think that is not just the next step of techniques, because the next step of this can be also art. So, can we imagine that technology is a kind of scientific art, something which is created from science substrate, and at the end of the process, we have something new. I mean, totally new, not quite new. Yes, with this vision, it's possible to imagine that reality can go beyond imagination. And maybe that's the problem because we can have solution beyond problems, but we see only the problems. And sometimes we have already the solution, but it's impossible to correlate them with the problems. So imagine, like in fact, with the technological bonsai, that we have a very efficient technology and we have already many solutions. But the problem is to find the problem to solve it. In fact, we have already the resolution, but we need to put a name on the problem. And maybe it was an example for hi-fi. But imagine now that we need to go to Mars. Imagine that we need to go with very high speed trains and not only airplanes. Imagine that we can use, in fact, maglev technology. So, I mean, magnetic levitation, and imagine that everything is possible if we have the willingness. But the problem is, do we have the willingness to use technology for that? Or do you want to use technology just for protection, just for a conservative way of thinking? What about innovation? So, technology maybe is one of the best innovation of mankind. And the idea is that we should use this not only to change something, but also to change our mind about what we are able to do in the future. Because at the end of this thought, we can imagine that in reality, technology is just a link from the future.